Hello everyone. This video will be a little bit different. I have decided to, in mass demand, to publicly talk about some of the things that I've gone through in my years of being on this earth. These stories are 100% true and 100% terrifying. You have been warned. Today's topic will be about the Wendigo, a creature known to hunt and stalk victims in forests along the Appalachian Mountain in the United States. It is a mythological creature or an evil spirit that stems from folklore. The concept of the Wendigo has been widely used in literature and other works of art, and also known as fiction across many regions. But today I'm going to be talking about something that happened to me that is very real and very terrifying. When I was in the 6th grade, we took a camping trip down to the Appalachian Mountains. I live on the border of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I didn't really want to go. I'm not much for outdoor activities. I'm still not. I'm mostly a homebody. So when my friends and I decided to get our parents to say yes, I went along with it, thinking, oh, what could go wrong? Well, the camping trip turned into a hike, because apparently the weather was bad. But they didn't want to disappoint us, so they decided to just say, okay, we'll go anyways. But it'll just be for the day. That way, no weather could, mess us up. It was like an hour or two drive. It wasn't really that bad. And they didn't want to cancel the whole trip. So, me and my friends, we packed up our bags. We were so excited, going down. We're getting out of, school for the day, kid shit. We were excited. We were excited to experience something new other than just boring old math class. Oh. On the way there, I kept feeling this unnerving feeling, and to this day, I cannot explain the type of feeling that I felt. It just felt uneasy. Mind you, the names are going to change due to confidentiality. So, my friend, we'll call her Jessica. Jessica decided to lean over and go, come on, Sebastian, it's not that bad. We're getting out of class, you'll be fine. My teacher at the time, it was a small class, she kind of figured, I was scared. She reassured me that it's just a camping trip, it's just a hike, we're not staying there, and we're just going to be hiking the trail. The trail is well kept, it's not anything too bad. Alright? So we got there, parked the bus, everyone gets off, I'm staying with my friends, and I turn and I could have sworn I saw something, and my teacher's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of wildlife, there's a lot of deer, we'll probably see some stuff. They go over the rules about what not to do, with the wildlife. Don't pick anything up, don't eat it, don't eat crap off the ground, berries and whatnot. And then we start hiking up the trail. About, I want to say, half an hour into the trail, we see, wildlife, we're climbing up rocks, taking the easy trail because we're just a bunch of 6th graders. So, then, my bully at the time, we'll call him Charles. Charles looks at me and says, what are you, chicken? Come on, it's not that bad. And I look at him and I say, I don't know, I'm having this unnerving feeling. He stops and he sees that I'm serious. Me and my bully weren't really that serious. It was like a love-hate relationship. And he looks at me and he goes, it's fine. You're fine. Come on. We hike up the trail more, and I keep looking around. I'm very paranoid, so my teacher looks at me and decides to stay with me. Well, apparently, 15 minutes into the hike more, someone falls. Kid falls, he scrapes his knee, the teacher rushes over. I get so distracted that I start looking at this waterfall, and I'm like, oh, this is really nice, it's nice and peaceful, and everything's chaotic around me, so I'm just listening, and then I realize no one's next to me. I look around, and the class have wandered off. I'm thinking to myself, oh shit. Did I seriously just lose them in the woods? Little kid me going, oh fuck, and searching frantically, and I get to this clearing that branches off into different paths, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, which path did they tell me we were going on? Because they're all color-coded. And I remember them talking about all different paths and what they mean. And the trails are marked, and I'm thinking, oh god, this is getting bad. I noticed it got colder, even though it was like, I want to say, late spring, early summer, around May-ish. And I'm like, it was just 70 degrees. Why is it so fucking cold? I take off my jacket and I tie it around my waist. And I decided to say, fuck it. I remember them talking about the blue trail. I'm just gonna go down the blue trail. I go down the blue trail and I've noticed it's pretty much flat. It's not really, that bad. It's a lot of twists and turns. About half an hour into it, I haven't found them. I pull out my iPod. I don't have a phone at the time. And I had this program that hooked into, the satellite for emergency contacts. And I have, my mom on there. I had, a few friends on there. The friends that were on the trip. And I text them. I go, guys, where the fuck did you go? No signal, which was very odd for emergency contacts. So I decided to put it back in my pocket and turn around and try to go to the main area where all the branches and all the paths were. I go back and I sit there on a rock. And it was like a boulder. I sit there near the sign and I'm like, okay. When you're lost, they taught you to just stand still and eventually someone will come and find you. This doesn't feel right. Something's wrong. It's starting to get dark. Where is everyone? Why hasn't anyone found me yet? I look around and I realize that the clouds are getting dark. And I'm thinking to myself, what could possibly go wrong, right? It's just it's just probably a storm. I'm going crazy. It's not getting dark out. It's 1 in the afternoon. There's no way. And I'm thinking, oh god, it's 1 in the afternoon. I got lost around 11 a.m. I've been here for 2 hours. I get up and immediately start panicking. I go down another path, and I start to hear voices. And I remember thinking to myself, oh shit, it's my friends. Okay. I run towards the voices, and then I heard growling. And I freeze, and I realize I'm in a little bit of a clearing. It's, rocky though. It's in the mix of the woods. And I'm turning and I'm looking around, and I'm getting really scared at this point, thinking, what is happening? Why do I hear voices all around me? The voices are coming from all different directions. I remember just standing there and feeling sick to my stomach. I'm pretty sure I went pale at one point, because I felt like all the blood was rushing to, my fingertips. I remember getting this weird taste in my mouth of, dirt and some kind of rotten taste. And I remember smelling this disgusting odor. I'll never forget it. It smelled like something died. If you guys have ever smelled like a dead animal, yeah, that, but worse. I remember just sitting there on the boulder and feeling really dizzy. I didn't want to sit down, but I had to because I was afraid I was going to fall over, I was going to hit my head, get injured. Then what? No one's going to be able to find me. And then I heard something snap. And I look over and nothing's there. And I'm thinking it's probably just wildlife. But yet again, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling sick? You know, like the kid in me was screaming run, but something kept me rooted to that spot, and I don't know what to this day did. And I remember looking over, and I'll never forget what I saw. It was this tall, lanky creature, thinned, almost anorexic type, very, very, very skinny. You could see its bones through its skin. Some of the bones were coming out of its skin, and I remember seeing its antlers, and it had a deer skull for a face. Or at least I think that was its face. I don't even know to this day what it was. But it was not human. And I remember hearing it growl. And it took a step towards me. And then I heard my teacher. And it darted off into the woods. To this day, I will never forget when I saw the Wendigo of the Appalachian Mountains. My teacher comes over and she goes, "Sebastian, where have you been? We've been looking for you everywhere. We're back at the bus. Where have you?" And she sees that I'm not feeling good. And she feels my forehead. She goes, "You're clammy. What happened?" And I just shook my head and said, "I just want to go home." And I'm crying at this point. And I'm just like, "I just want to go home." And she takes my hand. She goes, "Come on. Can you walk?" And I shook my head, yes. And she just took me back to the trails where they were. And we go down the blue path. I did choose the right path. But I wasn't on the blue path. And I'm thinking to myself, that's weird. I went back and I chose the green path. But then I turned around and we were on the red path. I said to myself, why did I get so lost? It's just a couple paths. There was only like 4 different paths. There's the blue, the main that was white, there was red, and there was green. Why did I get so lost? So we get back to the bus, and I remember sitting down. And Charles looks at me, he goes, "Dude, where the fuck did you go?" I'm like, "You don't want to know." And Jessica leans over and goes, "You don't look good. Dude, what the fuck happened?" And we're gonna call him Louis. Louis looks over and goes, "Yeah, one of the kids fell, and we turned around, and you were gone. We've been looking for you ever since." I said, "I stopped to look at a waterfall. Where did you guys go?" And they all looked at me and said, "What waterfall?" There is no waterfall.